I'll be here for a bit.
NUFC Top TV.
I love that intro. Well, hello everybody. Whew, that was a game. Lots to go into there. It was 2-1 to Newcastle. Somehow away to Wolverhampton. It's normally a draw or we lose. It's a really horrible ground for us, so we've kind of got a bit of hoodoo away from us. It was a performance. It was something.
It was an experience, mate.
I was not expecting that at half time. But welcome to the channel. As always, the usual stuff, the housekeeping we always do. Leave a like or an unlike, whatever. If you don't like us, that's fine. Put an unlike, it helps the channel no matter what. You always give me super chats, so you put all the super chats in there and make Chris look silly. So please do that for us. That's always lovely because Chris is a numpty, so we make him look silly. Where I get all the £50 and the the £100 super chats because he doesn't get any. It's always me that gets the big super chats. So put those in there. 500,000, that's fine. We'll share that. That's no problem. So all that good stuff. Follow the channel. We've got the website as well. So all that good stuff is on there.
If we get some proper super chats, I might be able to buy a proper mic.
You got it. That's it. Well, where to start with this game? I think we should start with the 11 because that was something. When you saw the 11 drop, were you thinking, okay, Charles back, good. Longstaff starts. Why?
I blame Josh for the 11 because we were talking on a late night show. I think it was Monday night. And he kind of planted the seed that Longstaff would start. And I was convinced Denali would start. And then, yeah, we get that news that Longstaff starting. I mean, it's not like he's coming back from a long-term injury. He's been training the whole time. He's been banned. He's went and played for Italy and he's played very well. Just start him because we've showed later on, as much as we didn't, I'm not trying to say that Tonali's changed the game around. He hasn't. But we had no control in the first half, in my opinion, at all. And there was a little period just before we scored the second one where we did actually start pinging the ball around a little bit, and Tonali was involved in most of it. Longstaff gives the ball away, in my opinion, for the first goal. Okay, there's a lot that happens after that before the goal. But if he doesn't lose the ball, we don't concede. I think his time... I don't want to be clicked up on this, but I honestly think his time at Newcastle's not bad.
I mean, a lot of the comments to see. Look, it's another result where this is going to paper over a few missteps for definite. The starting 11 didn't really, we were okay for 10 minutes, 50 minutes. I won't say anything more than that because we were okay. A bit of, kind of Wolves were kind of holding on. They were coming into this with really bad form. They haven't won it more than you for like 6 games. So they were nervous, and we couldn't really take any advantage of it. Isaac again, he's still to me. I don't know what it is. I know he did well for Sweden, but he still doesn't look right now for Newcastle. He's not getting to balls as quick. He's doing some stuff that's very strange for him, which is frustrating. And then he obviously has to go off at half time, which we'll get to. You just don't do anything really with a ball. Wolves, not doing much, but we're not really causing much problems. And you're thinking, okay, well, we're on top here, so we'll see what happens. And this is my frustration. I put in the chat. It just does med in. We let a team, like, the crowd were dead, like, including, away fans. So I couldn't hear you, I'm sorry, but it sounded like the whole ground was dead. Wolves fans were not annoyed because they weren't playing well. We were playing, like I said, okay, and our fans were, I'm sure they were making noise, but Sky couldn't really pick it up that I could hear. And I'm thinking, well, we've silenced the crowd. That's one positive thing we've done. And then you just gift them, like, Longstaff in particular, sorry, mate. I mean, you just do my head in, giving balls away, and we're giving them encouragement, and they get one chance on goal. Like they get a corner from Longstaff, and that starts their impetus to come back into the half, and the crowd get on them, and then we're letting them come on to us, and then you're just thinking, well, here we go. We've done all the hard work ish, apart from score. And then we've let the team in. We've seen this a million times. And then, as we've seen, we're up attacking. Nearly everyone's up there, pretty much. Longstaff is easiest balls I've ever seen. He passed it straight to bloody, I think it's Cunha. He passed it straight to, and they just that's what they wanted. They wanted to catch us on the break and get us on the counter. That's exactly what they did. It wasn't off.
Sorry, go on, mate.
Burn was chasing shadows. I don't know what he was doing, and Shah gets done by the fake, by the fake out.
Yeah, good to me.
And it's an easy goal. It's just, and you're thinking, bloody hell, man, we're already up against it. We're already 1-0 down already.
Speaking of the crowd, I mean, just before we came live, we were talking, and this is in no way, shape, or form a dig at the away fans today, but they had nothing. I mean, they were quiet, but they had nothing to shout about at all.
No,
let's be honest. The first half, there was one chance. I can't. Do you know, as I'm struggling to remember the chance as well. What we've got to look at is what's the continuing pattern that we're seeing over the 4 games that we've had in the league this season. And in my opinions, we're not keeping the ball. We're letting teams just come out with it. Don't get us wrong. We've dealt with the majority of it pretty well, but you can't keep asking teams to have a go at you and try and break on them. Yes, okay, we've got lightning pace up top, and at times it is going to play into our hands when teams really, really commit to it. But we are really riding the line so close at the moment. For me, you want to keep control of games, you've got to drop Longstaff. And I tell you, there was a point in the game, I don't know if anyone remembers it. Lewis Hall's chasing, I think it was Cunha on the right-hand side. He blitzes past him and he stops. What's he doing? Stopping? What are you doing? He checks back and he tries to, he shoots. If you don't stop, you stop that shot. I mean, Pope saves it with one hand, which is, in retrospect, it's actually a pretty good save because it could have nicked past him. What are you doing stopping, mate?
No,
so,
and then I mean, we'll get into it in the second half, but and then like it's weird tactic of him being up front. I was thinking, what is this? This is a really strange tactic here. I don't know if it was because he was cropped and couldn't really run anymore, and we were kind of just trying to put him somewhere because we made all changes by that time. So anyway, so halftime comes, and we're all frustrated. The Twitter's going mad as usual. The blooming my chat's going mad. I've got some Wolves fans, and they're all, Champions League.
Had a couple of them.
So I'm taking the banter off of them, and I'm thinking, well, yeah, we're not looking good. In the second half, again, like the one thing I'll give Eddie, I mean, again, people are gonna slate him or give him praise. We were all shouting for these changes, whether they didn't start, but look, he can change, and he made 3 changes. Isaac was forced because he's obviously taken the ball right in the face. I think it kind of, but look to me, I think it's kind of like may have done like a small break.
Yeah, it's bent his nose, hasn't it? I've seen a replay since. I was kind of calling him at halftime, and then I've seen the replay, and I can understand it now.
They couldn't stop the blood flow, so he can't. People get mad about that. He can't play with. Can't happen. He's probably gonna have to wear like a blooming Mbappe mask from next week if it's badly broken. But we'll just have to see. So he has to come off. And thankfully, again, Eddie has seen there's problems. So Tonali comes on, which you can see that from half time that he was pretty much ready to come on. And and when it comes on, you're thinking a bit of impetus in midfield. That's good. We just want a bit of, just need a bit more in there. First half of that second half, it didn't happen. Again, just same sort of thing that just didn't happen. We were giving the ball away too often. Wolves came out in the second half a lot better. They had that confidence. They kind of got that, monkey off the back and scored. They looked a bit more organised than they did against Chelsea. And you're thinking, well, this is going to be one of these horrible 1-0 losses for us. Couldn't really do much in there. And then, thankfully, we do a little bit. We're kind of trying to put some emphasis in the game, getting forward a little bit. We're passing it about, and then I'm screaming. I am screaming, pass it to Shah, because he's in. We know where he is. He's in prime position, and
he's in that Burnley position, isn't he?
He hasn't caught it perfectly, but funny enough, because the chaps headed the ball, Shah's shot's pretty much going into the goalkeeper's hands. You can see where the ball's pretty much going to go. It's bounced off his head. It's gone right in the top corner.
But these are the things that happen when you take a gamble and you shoot, Paulie. I mean, you were saying it in the chat. I've been saying it for months. And when I watch other teams play, what's wrong with having a shot on the edge of the box? Anything can happen.
Yeah. And it's one thing that, and it's funny, it's not just Newcastle. There's a stat that teams are not trying to, there's not many goals that you call screamers.
No, trying to play a Man City goal, that's the problem. We're not Man City.
And, well, a lot of people think they are. I mean, Southampton play like they are Man City. But we're just trying to, if you take a shot, you just don't know. And again, like, you get lucky. All right, you get lucky, but the header goes in and it's great. And then all of that goes into our play. We get the confidence back in the second half of that second half. And then we start playing some decent football. It's some really nice movement. And again, Harvey Barnes, this lad, people want to get on him. I don't understand it. I mean, he has good and bad games as every player does. This puts the St. Maximum argument to bed for me. I'm sorry, it's boring.
But that's what we bought St. Maximum for, isn't it? But you just never did it. Yeah,
this guy's better. Anyone who wants to debate that, we can do that on another show. But he's better. He just is. And it's just phenomenal. I mean, he's done the defender, and it's just. Oh, what a goal. What a goal it is.
There's no goalkeeper saving that, is there?
Just right in the top. You can see the goalkeeper trying his best to get to it.
Postage stamp, top corner.
10 goalkeepers.
This is why I've been crying out for Gordon to play on the right, so we can get Harvey Barnes on the left, because he is an absolute goal threat. Yes, okay, he goes missing in games. We see 30 minutes where he might only touch the ball 2 or 3 times. Sometimes the ball's played up to him, he doesn't hold it up. He has got his faults, but he's capable of keeping you in winning your games.
Yeah, I mean, his technique. I mean, remember when we first bought him, I was on we were doing a show with Chris, and we had a Leicester fan in the chat. I can't remember his name, sorry, but he was telling us about Barnes and said that he has this ability to score unbelievable goals, but his problem was staying fit. And this is what he had last season. He was out most of the season. We didn't really get what he could bring to the table, and we're already seeing like what this lad can bring us is some. Yes, okay, he has games that aren't his best. I get that, but Almiron has games that are bad. Gordon has games where he's bad. Isaac, every player we have has a bad game. You can't be perfect all the time. We don't have 10 Haalands in this instance, who are just robots and just keep scoring for whatever. But today I thought he was really good. I mean, he was one of the bright sparks in the first and second half. Gordon was really good, I think, as well. I was surprised to see some Gordon hate out there. I found it very strange.
He went on a run like Isaac, didn't he, and then hit the post. Yeah. I mean, and then he was asked to play up top and do the press. And I mean, in 2 occasions, if someone had actually pressed with him, we might have, there's one he pressed, the goalkeeper hit it against him, went out. There was another one where he pressed, the goalkeeper kicked it against him, went to the far side of the pitch. Had we actually, as a team, pressed, we might have won that ball and might have gotten something from it. I'm not a fan of Anthony Gordon going up top. It all depends on the game. You've got to be controlling the game. They've got to be sitting, having a game like Liverpool against Liverpool, it's going to be back to front. That's a game where I would possibly look at playing Gordon. But it tells you a lot about the faith in Howe has in Osula that he didn't throw him on, because, look, in retrospect, he's made the right substitutions, but you're taking a striker off. The obvious choice is to chuck a striker on. So Murphy wasn't having the greatest game as well. So you could make an argument for Osula coming on in that instance. I don't think many fans would be like, well, why didn't he do what he actually did? But again, we've been proven. I was thinking he was going to bring Osula on. And when he didn't, I thought, okay. But it worked in the sense that we were putting Wolves under a little bit more pressure and hurrying them a little bit quicker in their half, and they did make mistakes playing the ball out a little bit, and we were winning. Tonali won a ball, and he headed the ball down. I think it was for Joe Willock, and then Joe Willock falls over the ball, just play it out wide. Lee's wanting to quickly say hello. That's
Get in! Get in, lads! Go on! Go on, up the tune!
And you know, coming out.
All the best, lad.
All the best.
He wanted to have his YouTube moment, I think.
Love it.
But
it's funny with Sula, because I was saying that, you know, Isaac's played a lot of football recently. I mean, obviously we got, you know, it's kind of, you know, I'm not happy he came off, but he needs a bit of a rest because he can't just play and play and play. And I was saying, like, if we're up winning and he's still on the pitch after 80 minutes, you can, you know, 10 minutes of Asulo, is that going to really affect the team that much? Just to see what the lad can actually do and give Isaac a bit of a break. I mean, David Teese has said, you know, 10 minutes. I mean, you know, just see what the lad is. I mean,
he's confident, if anything.
Yeah, unless he's injured and he's just on a bench as a number, but Eddie Howe hasn't referenced him being injured. You know, I get that he's raw and he's, you know, he's still new, but like I said, just having something up there, because Gordon never does it for me. And then, like I say, when we went up to the last, you know, into the extra time in particular, I know Lewis Hall went down with cramps. I don't know if this is part of the decision, but we pumped the ball up and Lewis Hall was up front. It was like, what? Where is that? You know, I remember when Mark Hughes used to put what's his face up front when they were up against it. What was their defender used to put up front? It was madness. Someone will know in the chat. I can't remember his play name.
City, or was it? No, you're thinking of Blackburn, Christopher Samba.
Yeah, he used to stick him up front.
That guy was a unit. I can understand why he did it at times when they were putting the ball in the box.
And it's just kind of like, okay, we're just kind of hitting, hoping, thinking that, you know, Lewis Hall is going to grab the ball and run. What I did like, and what we've learned from, and I think it's been something from last season, is when we had an attacking position, when we were winning, we went to the corner. We actually went to the corner.
Yeah, we did. I mean, not successfully sometimes, but we did. Just kills them seconds, and them seconds can be the difference. We were learning it against Liverpool a couple of seasons ago, didn't we? You know, when they put 8 minutes up, you've got to make sure that you look after the game, otherwise it can come back and bite you in the backside. But I tell you what, I will say, just before we scored, Shaw was getting forward, and I think the best football we played was the move where goes out wide, comes inside, Tonali plays a little round the corner pass to midfield, and then there was a through pass played, and Shaw apologises. Shaw's involved in everything there. I mean, is a back five viable? I'm not actually suggesting. I'm just saying what came in my head at that point. Is a back five viable when you can actually give Shaw that license to sometimes join the attack? You know, the shape that we have at the back when we are in possession would allow that. You know, Lewis Hall sitting if he's not being involved in the initial attack, because he's a goal threat. Let's be honest, and he's good on the ball. He's able to receive the ball in tight areas and play a good pass. The problem that you've got with him is if he does lose the ball, he's not the quickest getting back.
You're breaking up the Steve Bruce playbook. I mean, Charlotte was very unlucky. I mean, when we went 1-1, there was some outstanding football, and I think someone just took it off Gordon's heel, and that would have been 2-1 or that been 3-1. I can't remember now when it happened, but there was a really good move with Shah involved again, getting forward. And then we even went 3-1 up at the end. You know, Harvey's in, he's dinked it over. It's unlucky, really. He's just tried to dink it over the goalkeeper. It's one of those things where if you get the flight of the ball, it goes in the goal.
Sorry to interrupt you. There was a moment in my living room where I was the only one jumping out. I was going, go on, ding him, and I jumped up. Go on. Everyone's sitting looking at this going, he's just put it wide, you dickhead. And I'm like, oh, shit. My son's looking at it and he's like, what are you getting excited for? Yeah, oops.
And then, you know, we have to mention Mr. Pope, because they were obviously, when we went 2-1 up, Wolves obviously going to try and come into the game a bit more. Not they weren't. They were kind of, Wolves are weird. Like they weren't great today, and they were just. We went either. It's a weird game, and it was just kind of like no one deserved to be winning at the time when they went 1-0 up. I don't think neither team. And then in the second half, they looked a bit better, but they came at us a bit more when we went 2-1 up, and then. I mean, they were playing some nice balls in the box and getting someone, outside of, our defence today was a shambles sometimes. I mean, bloody hell, Burn was all over the shop today. And Lewis Hall had a day off, and Liverpool as well, I thought, didn't play well today. Hence why Trippier came on and kind of made things a bit calmer. But I tell you what, that was a really nice little hook over volley. Caught it really sweet, and I'm thinking, as soon as he's hit that, I'm thinking that's in. I'm thinking, well, that's 2-2. We had a repeat of last year. And Nick Pope has made an unbelievable save.
I actually missed that. I was on the way. Apologies, I missed that.
Outstanding. Just, that ball is that, he was, I think he's thinking that's in. I'm thinking it's in. I think most of the defence are thinking, great, here we go. And Pope just pulls up a really one-handed, really good stop. It goes out the way of everyone as well. On top of that, he doesn't put it into a dangerous area. And again, like people saying, is Pope the number one, or is he the best goalkeeper we have? He is. Sorry. I know Derek likes Dubravka, and he has made some good saves in the past and done some great things for us. But I'm telling you right now, if Dubravka's in goal today, we're 2-2.
Him coming out claiming that ball when we were under it a little bit at 2-1. Not very many goalkeepers come out of the box like he does in the Premier League now. They're not as brave as Pope. He comes out off his line very, very regularly, and he stops things before the start, let's be honest. It's a bit like you have the argument that Dan Burnett, he wins them little headers that you don't, where it could start attacks for the opposing side. In my opinion, Nick Pope is England's number one best goalkeeper. If you go back to the 1990s and look at what goalkeepers did, he is the best at that. Because obviously you've got Edison with nearly the amount of assists that Miguel Almiron's got in the Premier League, playing balls 70 yards into Haaland, then managers want their goalkeepers to be able to do things that you wouldn't normally associate with a goalkeeper doing 10 years ago. So is he going to get replaced in time with a more cultural, is that a word for a goalkeeper, cultural goalkeeper? I mean, it's mad that we're even having that discussion, but I just want a goalkeeper that if my back four are confident that he's going to come off his line and claim a ball, and he claims the ball, that gives the defence a lot of... I can live with the limited ability on the ball because he's a good goalkeeper.
Yeah, and Wolves struggled with that as well. They kept both, a lot of teams in the Premier League, and it's not just us two, Southampton, other teams, they have this weird notion that they want to be Man City 2.0. And, this obsession with playing out the back, it can look brilliant. It can look really nice if you get it right. But the problem is that Isak, and they caught them out 3 or 4 times because of goalkeepers dawdling. Pope in the first half dawdling on the ball again because we're trying to play this intricate football. Nearly messes it up and gets lucky with how quickly he gets the ball. And it's just, we were poor for this in the game against Bournemouth. Trying to play it from the back as if we're Man City or Barcelona, and it's just kind of like, if you need to, Roy Wood famously said, if you need to hoof it, get rid of it.
Just do it. Yeah, I mean, look at Brighton last season. How many points did they lose last season? As much as they had a very good season, how many points? Silly. I can count just off the top of my head 6 goals that Brighton gave away last season that they wouldn't have conceded had one of them just belted it. They were taking liberties. Burnley did it. Southampton did it against us. We've done it in times. I don't see. I get it. You want to draw the team onto you, and then break. But where's the risk and reward there when you're not Man City? I mean, Man City even make mistakes at it. So if they're making mistakes at it, so yeah, I just think it's a thing that everyone's going to keep trying, and then eventually there'll come a point where teams only do it when they're really desperate and they're drawing teams on. And people say it's lovely to watch. It's only good to watch when a team presses them properly.
Yes.
When they get out, when the team presses, that's when it's impressive. When the team just sits off them, it just looks like Spain back in 2000 at the edge of the box, passing the ball sideways.
Yeah.
As great as they were, you're just like, oh, for God's sake, so you're going to do anything with that ball? So
another person needs a mention for definite, and I'm not, we won the game, so I don't care. But the ref had a day off today again.
Winston.
With this guy, he's had some stinkers for us in the last couple of games he's had. Even commentary who were against us, Carragher and bloody what's his face, they both hate us. Even they were like, "Oh, Newcastle have such a poor record when Kavanagh's in charge." And I'm thinking, yeah, because he falls everything Wolves are doing. Joe does one thing, literally one thing in the whole game, and gets a yellow. They're fouling Gordon. They're going into Gordon and whatever, throw him on the floor. Nothing, get up, Gordon. You're going down a bit too easy. They started getting yellow cards in the second half, but honestly, I
half expected the one on Willock at the byline not to get a yellow card, and I'm like, because the ref didn't look as if he was going to do anything about it. I'm like, you're having a laugh. Can someone clear up when Dan Burn got booked? What was it for? Because I'm thinking it was the challenge in the middle of the pitch, which I think it was Shaw and one of the Wolves players. But Dan Burn gets booked, and I'm like, what the hell's he getting booked? And Lee says, oh, he must have said something to the linesman. I'm like, I don't see him. I don't know why he got booked.
No, commentary alluded to the fact that he came in a bit late on the ball when he slid it. I know, yeah.
It's one of the best challenges of the day.
Yeah. Carragher was talking about, he's given Burn the card because he's a bit behind the ball. And I'm thinking, no, he isn't.
He's kicked the ball 20 yards. That tells you that he's won the ball.
I thought, as a referee got mistaken identity, did he think that Burn had fouled, as he fouled the striker? And
that's what I think. I think he's getting mistaken identity. He's booked Burn for the challenge. And I mean, he's got long legs, but he's not getting from there to there in that time. I mean, let's be honest. Burn
was a foul on him.
I kicked the ball, right, okay. I missed that on the Skype, right, okay.
Sky didn't show that. They nearly didn't show, even though I wouldn't have liked it, they nearly didn't show a Wolves goal because they were too busy showing a replay.
How many people think if J7 kept being kept on, he would have gotten a red card? Because I was saying to Lee, he's got to be taken off half time. He is a red card waiting to happen. Yeah. I love Joe Linton. I think he epitomises everything that Geordie's wanting in a football player. A leader, big, strong. He never shies away from a challenge or a fight or anything like that. He tries his hardest, but stop picking up stupid yellow cards, will you, please? Yes, he got a decision that it should have went his way and it didn't. And he proper, when he does give him a real dig in the ribs.
Yeah.
Naughty. Stop it, because it's going to cost well later down the line when he's suspended.
And you just need the wrong ref. You
need the wrong ref. Yep. Endangering it. You break a rib like that, and I'm telling you, I've had a broken rib. You can't breathe in properly. It's that painful.
There was a funny, there's a handball shout. As soon as I saw the replay, I don't know what the players. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, if you're given handball, I wouldn't be happy if we got handball against us. I'd be bloody foaming. So I don't know why they're asking for that as a handball.
No,
they know if the ref gives that, then you got to give that for the rest of the season.
It's similar to the challenge and Tonali pulls Dawson down. I think it might be Dawson. He pulls him down. And if you're giving that, you're giving 10 penalties a game.
Yeah, and away goes. They were trying over. They were falling over when a bit of contact went on them. I think they felt that the ref was being quite kind to them. So they were kind of going down as easy as anything. And then Tyndall gets himself a yellow card because
I missed that as well.
Tried to speed the game up. So Willock's gone to take the throw. He's literally picked the ball up and thrown it at him, just to say here's the ball to get on with it. Right. And they're saying, because it's the ball boy's responsibility.
Oh, give over. Give over.
I mean, it's just kind of, and again, another thing they said that this weekend has been a record for yellow cards. Yeah. I mean, what was the game the other day? Was it like
Chelsea, Bournemouth?
17 yellow cards in a game. I mean, bloody hell.
That is nuts. 17 yellow cards.
If you've put on players to be carded on betting, And
I don't know what the odds have been on that.
you're a happy person at the moment.
But Lee was putting a bet on at the start, and he goes, who do you reckon will get a yellow card? And I went, I'll put your lid on Lewis Hall. He went, why? I went, that Cunha if he guns on the right, mate.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, Joe Linton's a good banker sometimes for a yellow card. God, oh, mate. I mean, 17 yellow cards in one game is...
Again,
I've seen games where they've had punch-ups at the end, and they didn't get 17 yellow cards.
No, I mean, the Tottenham Arsenal game just gone, you know, there's a pretty meaty challenge in there. And I think yellow was just about right. I mean, it was he's gone for the ball and kind of caught him afterwards. I know that I think Casemiro got sent off for something quite similar because Goldbridge was foaming about it, but he foams about everything, that guy. It was one of those that I've seen people be sent off for it, but I thought yellow was sensible. But then, like, they give one to the goalkeeper because he's squared up to someone. And you think, but it's a derby. Like, again, like...
That's what it's about, isn't it? That's what the fans are there to pay for. They want to see that. As long as anyone's getting endangered or they're doing a Fabian Shaw, for example, and not that Fabian Shaw made much... I mean, I've made more contact with... You know, it was ridiculous, let's be honest, the record. But he gave the referee a decision to make. Going to someone, however, is not a yellow card offence. That is, I want to win this game. How much do you want to win the game? You know what I mean? Yeah. I can't be too much longer, mate, because I've got a gang doing for the little one. But I don't know what's the onus in the chat. Just when I'm on, I can't see the chat. What's everyone's opinion? We're a little bit lucky today, maybe.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying we were poor. I agree, we were poor. But what's funny, like, I get it. We have not had a game this season that I could say we've been good.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But with that, we're still third with 10 points, which is a better start than Pardew had when he was with us in 2012. And we're through to next. I know it's just one round, but we're into the next round of the Carling Cup. There you go, I'm sure I'm age.
I keep calling it the Carling Cup as well, mate.
I'm saying the bloody Carling Cup. We're through to that round. In the next round, Wimbledon. Yeah, all right. We should win that. You never know. Don't want to be too cocky because, you know, these are games that can catch you out. You know, everyone remembers Cambridge. I'm pretty sure.
I remember Stevenage as well.
Stevenage. So not opinions on that, but yeah, it's weird because it's not been a great start the season performance-wise, but points-wise, it's been unbelievable. You can't, if we're playing one and we have 10 points after this many games, you'd be dancing. Yeah,
you would. Yeah. If someone had given with this, if someone had said after 4 games you're going to be third in the league with 10 points, draw against Tottenham, you would have bit the hands off. Even if they'd said you don't play great in the games. I think the problem is someone saying you don't play great and you get the points is fine, but when you actually sit and watch it and give up your time to sit and watch at times that was hard to watch in the first half, in my opinion. It looked as if Murphy didn't have a clue whether he needed to come inside, go wide. The amount of times that Livramento got the ball on the byline and Murphy's sitting where Isak would be and Isak's running towards him horizontally, like, I'm not a fan of that. I'm really not, and I think that's why we're not controlling games, because you've got attacking players trying to come and do something rather than let the midfielders create things for you.
Yeah, I mean, Terberg, we always repeat it. We always have opinions here. We're not going to block people.
Come on.
We don't block people on this channel for opinions. I always, accept there's going to be more opinions than my opinion on how. Look, Howe got the first 11 wrong. I think even he would admit that because he changed it. You don't do free change. Don't do free change. I know Isaac is forced, but you still don't make. Let's pretend Isaac gets fouled. It doesn't get injured. 2 players at half time. So Howe is admitting that he's got the starting 11 wrong, no matter what way it goes about. At the end of the day, yes, it's not great. You get the win. Yes, it's lucky in some ways. So the header goes in and Barnes scores an absolute screamer. Yeah, I get it. It's not the best, but tell you what, buddy, when we start playing well and start smashing teams 4 and 5s,
the more Harvey Barnes keeps doing that, the more you're going to see Gordon on the right. because don't get us wrong, Gordon's cut in, and Man City and a few other games he's done a similar goal, but not on. I mean, you look at the minutes to goals that Harvey Barnes has done that way, cut in off the left, in which one? Honestly, I think he's up there in the top 10 in the Premier League for that type of goal. So
Definitely.
you've got to have him in the team. Gordon's got the pace and the power to play on the right-hand side. You're just going to have to change a couple of philosophies in the sense that when he gets to the byline, he's not going to cut it. Excuse me. He's not going to cut it back. He's going to put the ball in because he's on his right foot. Rather than when he's on the left, he may check back. You just adjust the runs, because for me, where's the Premier League the strongest for wing backs? Right back. Where they're the weakest? Left back. Let them have a gun at the left backs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, mate. I'm not trying to silence you here, Terberg. I agree with you. Proper teams are coming. I agree with you 100%, mate.
Yeah, they are.
We are going to have, we're going to have a Man City coming up quite soon, and that will be the proper test. Wimbledon isn't the proper test for this. They're not. We could lose that game. It would be horrible, but realistically, we should be comfortable. Fulham, they're a funny team. We're kind of a bogey team for them at home, so you just don't know. But you hope to play a bit better. But yeah, Man City is going to be.
Everton afterwards.
Yeah, so that'd be 3-2 to us.
That's the game I'm hoping to try and either get to the start of the game for. I'm hoping going to try and meet up with win and whatnot. But we've got a good run. I mean, Spurs give Arsenal a game today. Let's be honest. We didn't show up again, but we managed to get a result. We are reminding me of Man United for the last 2 seasons. We're not playing well, but we're getting results, which is, I say that through gritted teeth.
Yeah.
And I do not want that to continue. I'd rather, we get a draw a couple of times and start showing that we're progressing and got a style of play. The problem is our 3 midfielders haven't started together yet. In my opinion, they haven't really had a top game together to find out exactly how good they are. And I think towards the end of the season, if Tonali can stay fit, Bruno stays fit, and Joe Linton stays fit, we've got a good 3 in midfield, and we get that balance of when does Harvey Barnes start and when does Gordon start. Yeah. For me, it's staring you in the face. Play Gordon on the right, play Harvey Barnes on the left, and play Zach up top.
That's it. And I agree with you here, Mr. Reactions. Yeah, I mean, Wolves are a funny team. They are. They're a bogey team. They're so weird sometimes. They can be very good and be very hot and cold. Like, they give Chelsea a good game for half a game.
Yeah.
And then just kind of dropped their ass and got absolutely spanked. So they're a weird team on the go now. They can be very, very good and resolute. So it's a funny one. It's like I said, it's a decent. When you put all of it together, it's a decent away when we have been very poor.
Yeah.
And our away form last season was abysmal.
Abysmal one. Let's be honest. I think when we got to December, we had 1 away win, maybe. I think we had 1. Anyways, I just want to say to everybody, hope you enjoyed the win, not maybe the performance, but apologies, I'm going to have to go. Just I've got guests. All the best. Thank you for inviting us on, and take care, everybody. And come on, can you set the league? Take care.
All the best. Yeah, Terberg. Yeah, I agree with you. Barnes and Gordon are definitely that's where we really have the impetus going in the game. Murphy again, I know he can deliver at times, but he can be so frustrating and just doesn't do things in the right way. So I agree with you that those 2 are definitely the people that need to start, because they give you that. Like we said, they're the ones that give you that impetus in the game for definite. So getting those guys on the pitch, getting Tonali in there to start again. He's had some great games. Yes, he's played, for in Europe and stuff, but I don't know. It's just one of those things that doesn't. It's just kind of frustrating, isn't it? Where, it's just one of those where, yes, he's been away, but so was Isaac. Isaac was away for both games. And Tonali's had how much off? I don't know how much rest he really needs. You know, so that was one that a lot of people got frustrated with before the kickoff happened, wasn't it? 4 games in a row and 4 teams who played will be devastated we didn't beat us. Yeah, no, I get it. Be familiar here. You know, each team that's played us this season will probably come away and think, how have we lost that game? You know, Tottenham will. You know, these. You know, today definitely be thinking that. Bournemouth will be thinking that. Southampton, again, they were a player up. They will not understand how they lost that game. So, again, you know, it might be whatever it is. You know, people say it's cope, it's whatever, but the positive is, excuse me, that we haven't played well and we still have 10 points. We're still kind of, you know, doing well there. So it's one of those things where I'm just, you know, like we said, start the right players, and you know, you're onto a winner, because when we start clicking, as we've seen we can do, without Europe as well, it could be, you know, we could still be in for a decent season. You never know. Tonali has to start. Yeah, I agree with you there, mate. 100%. Yeah. Excuse me. It's one thing we're all bitching about. You know, I don't know a single fan that was happy that Tonali was on the bench. Again, there was theories of why he was on the bench, and I get it that, you know, again, he's come back from you know, blah blah blah, whatever. I think Gary was saying that maybe it was that Longstaff was in the camp while the other guys were away. But I mean, these are professional footballers. I'm sure if you tell Tonali the same information you tell Longstaff, he's going to understand what he's being told. He's a professional, very good footballer. So if you tell him what you've covered in training, I'm sure he can pick it up. He's not, you know, he's not an idiot, is he? So yeah, I just hope that gets better. Gordon and Barnes don't need to stick to left and right for the whole match. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? We needed a swap, and this is the problem with Wilson being out as well, because when Isaac comes off the pitch, if we're not going to trust Asula to come on, Gordon doesn't work up front. We know that. You know, yes, it worked for England in the under-21s, but it's never really worked for Newcastle when he's played up there. That's not all his fault. He just feels a bit wasted there. He doesn't really get much service, does he? When he's up there by himself. We lose a lot with him up there because we lose his pace on the wing. And then what was funny is, even though he was up top, so much of that second half when he was up top, he was on the wing anyway, because he's not getting into the game enough for his liking. So yeah, I mean, I know, mate. Yeah, I agree with you on this one 100%. A few of us have said this. Why is he not on for the last 10 minutes? You know, a few people have said that yes, he's a developmental player. I get that, but again, like, you have to try. You have to see what this guy can do. Like I said, we don't know for a fact, but Eddie Howe hasn't brought up any injury, or, you know, it just seems odd. Like, he seemed to, you know, again, I'm judging this off one half of football I've seen him play, but he didn't look like he was terrible in the half of football in the Salah Cup. He didn't look unfit, or he didn't look, you know, like he didn't understand what his job was. So for 10 minutes, he could do something, shouldn't he? And this is the thing, when we have Wilson away, we don't have someone to come on. And if it keeps being on Isaac, again, we were here last time, he finally gets injured or whatever. I mean, today was bad luck, you know, the ball hits him in the face, you know, so you can't help that. What can you do? You know, so it's one of those things with Isaac, that it's just bad luck when it comes to that. But not having Wilson to come on, this is where we get cropped. You know, if Fasuda is not the answer, then should he really be on the bench? If you don't trust the lad, you know, maybe if you want to give the lad some games and some, you know, match readiness, maybe you need to put him into the reserve. I know I'm not happy that it happens, but you know, if you're not going to trust him, does he need to go in the reserves and get some games under his belt, or what? Because if he is developmental, then that's what we want to use him for. It's a funny one, he doesn't get asked these questions sometimes, Eddie, and it's frustrating, because I'd like to know what's happened with that. I saw something about Murphy's stats here. What was it? Murphy went for 8 duels and 1-0. He went for 1-0 and lost that 2. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing here, isn't it? It's just Murphy is such a frustrating player for any team. You know, he has games for us where he is phenomenal and he's man of the match and he can be very good. And then there's other games like today where he's anonymous and he doesn't do anything. And you think, what? It's a waste of a player. Like, you know, we've got people on the bench who could probably do more than this chap. And as we've seen with all the fallout, as it seems with the summer window, the one saving grace that we heard is that they are looking. I mean, it's bloody obvious to any Newcastle fan who's been here for more than 10 minutes. They are looking at a bloody right winger. They're trying to find a right winger because Murphy's not the answer. He's a squad player. You know, he's someone that can come on and do a job here and there, but he's not someone that's going to, you know, do something all the time. It's really frustrating. Yeah. Gordon doesn't work up front for us because we played. Yeah, I agree 100% with this. Yeah, playing no one behind. Yeah, a million, billion, trillion%. We really lose something when Gordon goes up front. 100%. Yeah. I don't think anyone's being negative. We're just kind of saying that, you know, the performances do need to improve. Like, hey, it's a win. I'm not unhappy. Like I said, the funny thing is, the positive out of this, even though it's poor performances, we're still undefeated in the league somehow. I don't know how. Blind luck, some of it. You know, you can't hide the fact it's been blind luck, some of it. We're third in the table. I know it doesn't mean anything at the moment, but we're technically, you know, right now we're third in the table with 10 points, and we haven't played a decent-ish game really. So I'm not trying to be negative. It's just kind of, we just want to tune up those performances because, as a few people have pointed out, the real teams are coming, and we need these, you know, the performances to improve because the good teams will punish you when you don't take your chances or whatever. In my opinion, it's how it's fought with someone. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? We took a punt with Wilson in the summer, not going for a proper second striker. I think we've just kind of tried to hope that he's fit, and it's just kind of, again, it's backfired, wasn't it? Yeah, Alanga was brilliant against Liverpool. Again, a player we were trying to get for. So it's one of those things, isn't it, where we get him, don't know. If Isaac gets Bolognese, yeah, I mean, it's bad luck when it comes to that, isn't it? It's just, it's such a shame with him coming off. So 2 people. So Win says that Alanga was poor, dodged a bullet. So you know, different opinions. It's what we like in this channel. We don't silence people for having an opinion. I've got no time for channels that do that, you know, because it's a fan channel. Not every fan agrees with each other. As long as we keep it, you know, as long as it keeps adult and we're not insulting people, then it's actually fine to disagree with people. You know, Terberg has been very respectful. He hasn't been an idiot or anything. So I don't mind people disagreeing with my opinion or other people's opinions as long as they're respectful. You know, it's all about that, isn't it? Alanga still lacks in that final third. Yeah, I mean, it's someone that if we got him, I think it's someone that you're working on. You know, Eddie can, you know, he has proved he can improve players. That's someone that would be exciting to see under Eddie Howe. But it's interesting when it comes to January. It'd be interesting to see what we do with right wing. Like, what, you know, are we actually gonna, if we have this money that we could spend 70, 50, you know, 70, 80 million. Are we going to go back in for Gay? Are we going to try and buy like a world-class right winger? I hope we do the latter because I don't think we actually need Mark Gay particularly. So, you know, I think if we invest in that position and we get someone who can score goals and connect the play, it could be, I think it's worth taking the punt, spending the money there. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? No one wants us to play poorly. Nobody. Those days when we played, you know, just played people off the park. You know, I know it can't be every game, but we can play better, and you know, it's still funny how we're getting results when we play bad, and that's the core of a good team. You know, so we're lucky that we have some players that can get there. It's criminal we got rid of Anderson and kept Longstaff. I mean, this lad. I mean, if we're doing, you know, I know they do player ratings on another video, but Longstaff today would be getting a pure 0 for me. I mean, he's just passing, you know, just so many mistakes and silly errors, and just honestly. No, you haven't missed it, mate. It's not uploading for me. Win, sorry. I'm trying to download it as I speak, but it's just it's been a bit of a bugger. So I'm going to try and still trying to get it on there for you, buddy. But I appreciate you sending the video. If not, hopefully Chris can get it linked somehow. But I have tried to download it and put it on here, but it's been a bit of a bugger. Sorry, buddy. Eddie Howe needs to excuse me, reconsider his choice. Picking more stuff. Yeah, Hells, no doubt. He needs to you know, he needs to definitely be open to that. Because again, I think that the fact that he's changed him at half-time tells you quite a lot. So that's something. J70's anger management, well, yeah, he does. Calm down. Right wing, yeah, I agree. Yeah, we need some centre midfield and striker. Yeah, centre back. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because I think that's why we're looking at Mark Gay. I think the transfer's completely turned the season around though. So who knows? Yeah, I agree with you. We were saying about this in the video that Isaac, yeah, a really good time with Sweden, scored some goals, and I thought he might come back with a bit of confidence. Not saying he was terrible or anything, but I know what you mean. He just doesn't. He's not his usual self just yet, is he? I don't know if that's not passing to him enough, or not getting the ball into him enough, or you know, we need to work on that ball getting into a bit quicker. You know, get some goals in there, because when he starts scoring, he's normally starts putting them in. So yeah, I do agree with you there though, because it's a tough one when it comes to that with him. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe he needs Barnes and Willock a bit more productivity. Yeah, maybe it's just having that midfield. It's trying to be a bit more conservative. It doesn't really help him. We'll not be spending all of us in January and having a big budget next summer. Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? You got to be tactical when it comes to that. Like, what's the best option? Like I said, I don't know what I just want there to be a plan this time, because clearly summer there wasn't a big plan, which was frustrating. It was kind of Mark Gay or nothing, which was very annoying. Didn't really help us, because it actually made us hindered in the market and made us short-sighted. I want the attacking positivity we had 2 seasons ago. Teams are terrified of us, like the pace across the front and the midfield. Yeah, and it's lost, isn't it? We were thinking that this year, because we don't have Europe, we could probably play this kind of really attacking football. I still think we can. I still think we have it. But like we said, these performances need to improve to get there. And like we were saying, like, will it being back and that sort of stuff, that might be able to improve it. I think also little things that we missed, like Wilson, we missed as well. I'm not saying he has to start, but you know, when he came on with Isaac a few times, they had a nice little thing as well together. But the problem there is that Wilson needs to get back up to bloody fitness as well. So just because he's back fit, whatever, he's not match fit yet. So again, it's just more waiting. It's frustrating, isn't it? Isaac's not a clinical finisher. Yeah. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Cisse. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? Mitro, look at Fulham. Like I was saying, this is why we miss Wilson, because Wilson does bully those defenders, and he causes a lot of bother in there. So I think I quite like when they're together. Yeah, Newcastle certainly do incur heart attacks for people. Midfielders are concerned at the moment. Longstaff gets called out most. Gillett and Bruno were really poor. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not. Yeah, I get it. Longstaff is not just the only one who had a bad game today. Joe was too aggressive at times and wasn't he wasn't his perfect best today and got hooked for it. And Bruno, I don't know whether that armband's hindering him. It's a funny one with Bruno. He's trying. You can see he's trying to do stuff in there, but I don't know whether he's trying too hard or he's trying to, because he's got the armband. I don't know whether he's trying to be too. He's trying to do too much. It seems like almost, doesn't it? So it's a funny one with Bruno. I don't know whether that armband's been a bit heavy on him. So it's an interesting one. I don't know what you guys think when it comes to that captaincy, because Trippier comes on the pitch and it's obviously clear that he is he's still a captain because he's given instructions and telling them telling people what to do. So Bruno is I love him. Obviously, he's a great player, but I don't know whether that armband's hurting him at the moment. It just feels like he's trying too hard to do something that's actually getting in his way a little bit. Yeah, I get what you're saying, mate. It was not the best from Bruno today. Willock and Ty should start over J7. Longstaff, Bruno did not have. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? It's so funny, isn't it, how that's in there. Yeah, they weren't great today. Wolves weren't great either. Don't want to give Wolves too much credit for today because I don't think Wolves were overly brilliant today either, to be honest with you. Shah has to be captain. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? It's such a hard one when it comes to this because some people have the captain's armband. They just kind of, it doesn't mean, it just belongs to them. They take up more responsibility. I'm not saying Bruno hasn't taken that on board, but like I said, I don't know whether it's just a bit too much for him. Whether it's just kind of weighing on his mind a bit too much. Like he has in his head, because he's captain, he has to do so. He has to, do something or make a difference or whatever. Like, yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, they gave it to him to maybe keep him. Yeah, I agree. I think there's definitely a bit of that in that decision behind it. Maybe he even said like, I want to prove myself or whatever. Can I be captain? So thought Cunha was poor for him today. Again, like they've lost their best striker, best attacker. Sorry, Neto. Neto is someone who's very good, injury prone, but he's a good player. Chelsea got a good player there, and they lost one of their best defenders as well. So, Wolves are. I don't know about you guys, but I think Wolves are probably going to be in a relegation fight this year. I don't know if they'll get relegated, but I think they'll be in and around 15th below that sort of. I think that's roughly where Wolves will probably be this season. I think a lot of teams will go to that. If Wolves play like that a lot this season, Man City, Liverpool, all that, they're gonna. Dear me, that's gonna be 6 and 7s. I think even Man United might give them a game playing like that. You want a team performance, yeah, long term doesn't gel. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's what I like. That's the only thing that I'll give Eddie. It was a wrong 11. Anyone can see that, obviously. But he finally had the bravery to change it at halftime. Finally, because it needed it. Bernstein captain. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, João Gomez and Andre were better than both of our Brazilian lads today. Yeah. I mean, they were probably the best two players on the pitch. Wolves were brilliant. Still looked ponderous. Yeah, well, that's it. Win, isn't it? I mean, Wolves weren't good today. It's not like they didn't walk. They didn't play us off the park or anything. That's what's frustrating about this performance, because Wolves were there for the taking. We saw in the first 15. Anyone who could have seen that. If we would have got a goal or whatever in that first 15 minutes, I'm not even kidding, that could have been 5 or 6. And even though we weren't great, we still missed some very easy some chances that were there. So even with playing poorly, it could have been 4-1. So It's a funny old game, football, sometimes. Issue for his last one isn't up, yeah. Offered nothing, yeah. Win when you go back to Joy Soul, who knows? Any last questions, guys? We're going an hour now. That's gone really quick. Blimey. Always a lot to unpick when we come to a Newcastle game, even a win. I'm trying not to be negative because it is a win. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm just hoping these performances are coming. That's the only negative I want to have is that. Nothing, no others. You know, Harvey Barnes, screamer. What a goal. Good player as well. You know, it's sad that people don't think he can do it because he's a very good player. You know, Gordon didn't have his best game, but he was causing some trouble. If that goal goes in, by the way, the one hits the bar, that's nearly goal. That's one of the goals of the season. That was unbelievable. That was so good when he did that. Such a shame. Any show tonight? Is Kristen one tonight? I'm not sure. Sorry, I'm not 100%. I'll have to check with Chris if there's one tonight. Trippier, does he start the next game? Probably. Yeah, I think, yeah, probably, actually. After Tino's game today, yeah, I think so. When is the expedition? Anytime. How making out of himself starting the office wrong 11? Yeah. Oh, it was one tonight. 9:30. Sorry. Yeah. See, I'm bad at this. I'm a poor advocate for the channel. I don't know every video we do. I'll get wrong now from Chris. Yeah, Ronald, we do. It's funny, isn't it? I'm really intrigued to see how we play against Man City. I'm really intrigued when we play Man City what that's going to look like, what that performance will be. Because you are right, we do seem to step up a little bit, and we kind of take the other teams a bit kind of less seriously, which is wrong. Great time for cheese and toast on the cuppa. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. We always have any last questions? Anyone got anything before we go? Before I sign off, give you a few seconds just in case. But yeah, to sum up, it wasn't the best performance on the planet. We've won a game and not played well again. We'll take it into the next game, and let's just hope that we just come with a bit more impetus. Willett coming back was a positive. I want him starting as well. You know, that he's much more positive for the team going forward. I want Denali to start as well because he looked good when he came on. I hope Isaac is fine. He might even need a mask, maybe. But yeah, we just need a better performance going forward. Doesn't look like we got any questions. So, well, that's been just over an hour, guys. So I'll sign off here. But you know, 2-1, 3 points, 10 points overall in the league. Can't moan really. Yes, performances should be better, which is definite. At least there's room for improvement. That's one thing. Next round of the cup. Can we get through to Wimbledon? Can we finally get a home draw? Please. Bloody home draw. Thank you. That'd be lovely. So home draw. And let's see what Fulham brings. Let's see what Wimbledon brings. So we got two more away games to go before we're back at St James's. So we'll see how we get on. Yeah, we're happy that Willett's back. Thank you very much. Full-time review at 9:30, everybody. So I've done an hour for you, so the lads will be on at 9:30 to go through all the other bits and pieces for you as well. So thank you for joining for a lovely hour. Thanks for the opinions. We always love it here, whether it's against what I say, for what we say. This is the whole point of this channel. You know, we don't want one thing bloody overall. We want people to have an opinion. Like I said, as long as it's adult, as long as it's kept calm and no silliness, no swearing, all that nonsense, we actually don't mind, because that's what we need. It's a game of opinions. If you want Eddie Howe out, I don't agree with you, but you might want him out. Fair enough. If you want Harvey Barnes to never start again, I disagree with you, but it is fine. So we're not a channel that's going to ban you for having an opinion. So take care, everyone. See you at 9:30. Take it easy. But yeah, all the best for now. Come on, Newcastle. Let's keep it going. Let's get a nice positive result with a great performance moving forward. All the best for now, guys. Cheers.